Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy LT the Sage, also known as Storm Sage. And yes, I am back. So I want you guys to chill, relax. I know everybody's excited to see me back doing YouTube content, but we don't have time to go over my return. Outriders New Horizon has just dropped, and with it comes a bunch of information on the new DLC, or pretty much a revamp of the end game. And so I want to jump into some of those facts, some of that information for you guys in this video. Again, drop a subscribe or like if you like the content, but let's go ahead and just jump right in to what New Horizon is going to bring to you. All right, y'all. So this is I have to re-record some of this information, so don't mind the outfit change, etc. But we're going to be jumping into, as you can see, the teaser trailer is in the back right now. We're going to be going into Outriders. They came out with a New Horizon update, and so let's go ahead and just kick into some of this information. So just to go over an overview, I'm gonna go over a quick overview of some of the changes. The first thing is the expedition timers have been removed. This is a big change. That means that no longer is it gonna be a DPS match. You're looking at overall, you can finish your expeditions on your time with your build the way you wanna play. So that's big, and so we'll see how that enhances gameplay and urgency and difficulty. We'll see if that keeps people playing longer. I already seen a couple people worried about difficulty spectrum. We'll see. 4 new expeditions have been added. Again, that's amazing information. Free updated content. That's kind of like a, hey, we messed up. Here's some free content for you. So keep an eye out for these new expeditions. Again, I'll have some links down below for some content creators that got hands-on early access to some of these items, and so, or some of these expeditions, so that you can kind of check them out. But I will be going through these expeditions and giving you my thoughts on them on gameplay tomorrow night, same time, 10 p.m. You already know. Transmog System. So this is big. Transmog System is something that every game that involves loot and power fantasy needs to include in their game. So Transmog has been added. Transmog basically is giving you the ability to switch armor when you pick it up. You have the ability to use that armor at any point in time on any character you would like. So that's just such a big change to the game system. A lot of the issues is that the sets of armor that you had were great when you're putting on your builds, but they were ugly. They were disgusting. Some of those Technomancer builds had me just, absolutely disgusting. So I'm glad they updated that, changed that, and gave you guys the ability to have some, artistic expression in the way that your character looks. Again, we're gonna have to see what this system entails. They stated that it's free, no kind of currency involved. You could do whatever you want. So that sounds great. The only issue, they had it for weapons, which I thought was strange. One of the big things for me as weapons is that they are usually exclusive, and you can tell what that weapon is when you have it equipped. Not knowing what your teammates are using based on what your visual aspects, because you can't communicate with them in most cases, it's going to be kind of weird. But again, I feel like people aren't going to use the transmog system for that, mostly for their armor and their look. Tiago's store has been reworked. Basically, they've added a couple of items on here where you can re-swap or re-roll some of the weapons that are there. A lot of the enhances and changes they've made are specifically to the loot system and the ability to get more loot in the game, those legendary items that everybody wants. And so that is big. That's big that they're kind of enhancing him to be more important as that in-game vendor on the when you're in that area to set up for your expeditions. The next one, legendary loot drops and farming information and changes. Basically, legendary loot drops have been bumped up 100%. That's right, 100 full power max cowl. Farming information, basically you're going to be able to farm a lot of these legendary items in the end game. You're going to get more. You're going to also, there's going to be a smart loot system added. Basically, it's a dupe clause, right? It gives you they have something in the system code that will stop the reoccurrence of duplicates. So that's great. Should have been in the game from the get-go, but we'll take it what we can. changes to legendary sets. This is where I'm getting into the nitty gritty of what I am very excited for. Legendary set information, set bonuses, what they add, what they don't add. This is what I am interested in learning about. That's what I love about these type of games, is the power fantasy and that power drive. And so I'm really interested to see what they've done to enhance the gameplay aspect, along with all of these quality of life changes. Changes to the mods. Again, same deal, bug fixes. I wanted to go ahead and mention real quick, I almost forgot, Worldslayer. So Worldslayer is the expansion that's coming out for Outriders next year. Whether you like it or not, whether you jump back in the game, they are gonna be releasing this expansion. It looks pretty sick. It looks like we have another enemy that's coming out of the woodwork that we're gonna have to deal with. So that's gonna add story content, I'm sure. The expeditions also carry some type of new story content, adding on to some of the things that we learned about, stories we learned about in the world. So I was very interested in that. Even some of Tiago's storylines, I vaguely remember him talking about some of the things they mentioned as far as the new locations of the expeditions. So I wanted to make sure to mention that, guys, and that's coming out in 2022. So make sure you check that out. If you're interested, if you jump back in the game and you're very, interested and want me to cover that Worldslayer content, let me know over the next couple of. All right, so we're gonna have that trailer. Whoa. There we go. We're gonna have that trailer playing up there on the top left. Again, I appreciate y'all coming through for this information on the Outriders, but this is gonna be my final thoughts. And to be honest with you, I am a little bit hesitant to put my full faith in the Outriders New Horizon changes and updates that are going on. Not too sure what we're going to really get out of this product. Now, one of the biggest issues that I had with the original product isn't bugs were an issue, but it was player expression and player fantasy, as far as power fantasy, positioning, as well as what you were able to do with the skills and abilities they put into the game. Especially games like this, when there isn't going to be a live service, there isn't going to be new weapons produced over a week's time, where I might run into something that I do like eventually. This is everything that's in the game core is in the game. And so you have to pretty much work with what you got. Okay. And I love some of the mods you were able to add to some of the guns. Some of the guns effects were amazing. And some of the powers, Technomancer, Trickster, some of those even the Pyromancer felt pretty good in the hands of the user. But because of the way the end game was shaped, unfortunately, a lot of those builds, or a lot of those fun things that people would like to do, they weren't able to express those because the DPS wasn't high enough. I remember a lot of it was gun mod type abilities, being able to add, fire and the Technomancer toxic to those gun rounds. And that's what caused the most DPS, which in turn made you finish finish what you needed to finish in the expeditions in the amount of time so you can get the best rewards. And that's all it was about. And now with the changes, I'm gonna be interested to see if it's actually fun to complete expeditions, work around, change your mods, change your abilities, play around with those things, keep rebuilding and reforging the way you want to play, change how your character looks. If you can do that consistently for hours and hours and hours, we'll see what the replayability is like at this time. If they had this system implemented from the beginning, I'm telling you what, it would have been amazing, right? But unfortunately they didn't. So now we're jumping back in. A lot of people are going to do it. A lot of people are going to review it and look at it, and we're going to figure out whether or not this is going to be something you want to invest into long term, because that's all it's about. It's about that investment factor. And before, the invested time that you put into the game wasn't enough. It wasn't enough based on the power fantasy for me, based on the power fantasy, and based on all those bugs and the fact that you can put 70, 80 hours into the game, and then one little, issue with the system completely erases everything. Thanos snap right there and everything's gone. So that is something we want to avoid. Okay. So hopefully they fixed all the bugs. Hopefully they fixed all the issues. Hopefully now we can go ahead and play the core game, enjoy what my mindset when they explained how this game was going to work. how they've laid it out is exactly what I thought was going to happen. And so if you guys want to see me experience all of this, again, check out the streams, 10 p.m. EST. Sometimes I run late, okay? Don't worry about it. Just come on in, trickle in, chill out, and enjoy the content, okay? We're going to be going hard on Outriders for the rest of the week, still splashing in some Final Fantasy 14. MMORPG news, you know where to go for your night fix, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, always follow your ninja way. Forgot that on the last one. I'm glad I re-recorded. That is my signature line. See y'all guys later. Peace.